At the stat line, people filling out the stat line.
I love it. Come on, let's go.
You want to get addresses?
Huh?
We'll do that at the end.
Yeah, we'll just at the end.
Okay.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for stopping in. If you have the small card, the one question, the one honest question, no mind, just take your time. We'll collect that at the end.
We'll get that at the end. The little small sheet. We'll collect that at the end.
Come on once. Go on once. No, don't close it. Positive parent engagement. Positive.
One honest moment.
You're welcome.
It's on right here. Yep.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yep.
I got you.
Bam. There we go.
No, we weren't. We were at another function, but no. This is our first time being here.
I was here.
Oh, she was.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Okay. So yes, I was here. Good to me. That's good. And then you was parent.
You said you coming in here?
Engagement then.
You said you coming in here?
Well, actually, they changed my topic because it was going to be a little different. But then they changed my topic. I guess they want this session or bounce it around. Hey, whatever the case may be, I'm ready for it all. I'm ready for it all. Okay. Well, thank you all for coming and stepping in. I know when you get these workshop sessions, kind of like, where do I go? There's so much going on in my program. So where do I start with this? But we believe that involving the parent your parent is your first, that's your door. That's your door. And so the key thing is like, we don't want to ensure that we don't look at our parents as your best parents or the worst parent. But we want to know that it doesn't operate without them. It doesn't operate without them. So our session is to positive parent engagement on the field of play. So this is going to address how do they show up and how do we help them be able to help be a part of our culture versus always want to shut them down. Okay. All right. So who we got in the room? Who we have in the room? Who do we have in the room today? We got what we got Palisades. What sport? Football.
Cheer.
What else? Tennis. Swim.
Basketball. Track.
Chambers. What sport? Men's lacrosse.
All right.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Golf.
Nice.
Okay.
Awesome.
This is a nice mix.
It's a great mix.
Track. Because with each one of those, every one of them have their own flavor. Everyone have their own energy. I'm a flip because I'm on the side. I am Alva Amaker, AKA Grace. And I am a mom, been a former athletic director, currently coach flag football.
Pardon the interruption. Can someone please unlock the cafeteria for the vendors at this time? Thank you.
Softball coach, volleyball coach, former basketball coach, middle school, right? And I also operate a travel volleyball club. Anybody in the culture, in that world of travel sports and things like that, the AAU scene, the 7-on-7 game and all that. Okay, and there is a different energy there. I am author of the book called Leading with Grace, Building Civil Sports Communities. Because if anybody knows that our culture, what we see, what we do, what we experience, we walk in as a coach that's want to do what? Coach the kids, have them better, and have an experience that will possibly, ideally, get them possibly a college scholarship or an opportunity to go to college or just make some friends and be connected. But our culture is currently not even built for that. It doesn't look like that. Everybody's attention is different. So what I did with the book was pretty much try to get us aligned to how do we get there, in our time frame that we have, because everybody has a touch point with a child, and making sure that we are now connecting all parties that involved. Okay, that's me.
Nope. Before I go, what does Grace stand for?
Oh, grace, goodwill, respect, accountability, civility, and excellence. Excellence is what we want to get to. Excellence is the pinnacle. But how we say, how we do, how we react in situations is where it can either thrive or it can crumble.
And good morning. The reason why I said that because we always need an accountability partner, right? And I want to make sure she told what Grace stood for. I, as a person, has been invested in sports all their lives. From the time I could walk, I played sports all the way through college, not through, all the way until college, got hurt within college, and certified athletic administrator, coach, educator, behavior specialist, and the author of the Parent Playbook, Nurturing a Champion's Mindset One Quarter at a Time. I am also a social, emotional learning and flourishing coach. So what I try to do is now impact parents to pour into their child before they get to you. But at the same time, I try to impact coaches before they get to the athletic administrators, right? And I am a coach, basketball coach, boys basketball, coach boys and girls basketball on the varsity level for both, head coach. And I have two sons that one plays in college right now and the other one was a collegiate athlete. So I have been invested in the same exact thing holistically, right? As an official, it's a lot of things that I do. And I am Tiffany Bevins. And again, one thing about Nurturing the Champion's Mindset, I gut punch myself because I am the parent that we're going to be talking about. I am the parent that we have to try to engage into the positive engagement piece. I am that parent that the coach does not want around because they know too much, because they're a coach, because they're an athlete. I'm that parent. So while I am salty now, and I know salt has a negative connotation to it, but in this respect, salt is self-affirming love transforms you. I have to pour into myself before I can pour into you. And remember, salt is a healer, it's a purifier. What's the first thing when we do if a student comes with a cramp? What do we ask them to do? Drink what? Water or what else? Pickle juice, Gatorade,
y'all act like y'all know about the
mustard,
pickle
right?
juice.
Right. And why do we do that? Because it has salt content, because our bodies need salt. It's a healer, it's a purifier, it's a protector. So that's why, man, I am salty. Self-affirming love will transform you.
And we got two roles, us being as even in the room as coaches and our administrators. Do we work together? Do we have a time when we sit down and we talk about how we're going to proceed, after we have did ideally our end of the season program, right? So why this session? Why now? The sideline environment is dictating 38%, 38 to 40% with the current data of youth sports participation is down.
Does anybody see that right now?
Are you having problems gathering kids, right? And so, many of the reasons is because they say it's too competitive, it's too costly, or they just don't find enough self-esteem to say, I can do this. Because everybody wants that player that's already ready-made, like they came out birthed like that.
And right? Like a LeBron James.
Yeah. Okay. And then, of course, we have the officiating issue. 40% officiating.
How many people love their officials?
Nobody
can't stand when that one official walk through the door.
I know I ain't got him.
Exactly, right? So they're down. Why are they down? Because the coaches have situations. The coaches have situations. Why? Because the parents now dictate. And then parents dictate the way of the child, not always, but the child. So it's a domino effect. So this is what we're trying to help.
Okay. And as you see the court inside say, the parent in the stands is not a bystander. They're not a bystander. They are a primary program variable that will either help your program thrive or will help your program decline. Because what's the first thing they're going to do when they get upset? They're going to do what? Pull a kid they leaving, and they're going to go somewhere and transfer. And then you're going to end up at a school with a kid that shouldn't have been at your school. And now, guess what? You in trouble. Because they done lied. Because they transferred to your building and somewhere along the line.
And you didn't give the respect to the other coach to say, hey, just to let you know.
So-and-so is coming to my school.
Coming to you. He came to my school. I know he came from your school. What's the deal? Respect the other coaches. You will want that respect.
And it protects you.
And it protects you.
And it protects you. That's the relationships.
And it's all about the students, right? It's all about the kids. I'm just saying. It's all about the kids. So if I'm going to wait for 10 games ago, and now I'm telling, is it really about the kid or is it really about you? Let's think about that. How do we know this? We are athletic directors. We've had these things happen, right? So what will you walk away with today? You will walk away knowing that what research says about parent behavior. You will also walk away with the three phases of the parent engagement and why the car ride home is a program responsibility. And within my book, I actually dive into the car ride home and how we as parents, as coaches, as anybody who's touching the student needs to understand what the car ride home hinders or helps. Raise a hand. When you're an athlete, because I know most of you probably played a sport, hopefully you did. How many people love the car ride there and love the car ride home?
You loved it?
You loved it.
So I appreciate it, and I needed it more than I needed to play, especially before.
And we appreciate that because it's going to touch on both aspects when you had a great game and when you didn't have such a great game. Okay, so we'll touch on that. And then you also have the feeling of empowerment. How do you touch the parent in this respect, right? And when is the appropriate time to touch the parent, and when is the appropriate time for the parent to touch on you? Not literally, but figuratively, okay? And you have how to feel when accountable for the parents and the equipment you will leave equipped with the language to help parents be acceptable and for you to accept the parents. And how to conduct a parent engagement audit, draft and revise your preseason and apply grace. Remember, we try to end with excellence and accountability of principles to reveal sideline scenarios. So these are the things that you will walk away.
Real quick question. How many of us just kind of regurgitate last year's stuff this year? Just put up the same handbook, same thing, and not really tweak it? Because like, shoot, this game
You can be
game.
honest. This is the
Playbook,
this is
playbook.
safe
This is
space.
yeah.
You got your what they say, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Who wants to revisit their handbook every year? I know for the 15 years I coached and for the 10 years I was athletic director, I didn't, and I should have. Started at 30. I'm different now. You know what I mean? So I know you know better, you do better.
Community changes, everything that you have working, you're gonna have like your core things.
Yes.
Your standards on what you believe on as a coach or what you're gonna do to operate your program. But the little things.
You have to tweak that, but you have to remember to do it. In the beginning of the season, or at the end of the season, you're like, I got to do all of these things. And then you forget to put it in there for the next part of the season. And we'll be talking about that.
Okay. Developmental science, the sideline interaction. There is a process. As you see, it says right here, the 5-to-1. This is where the science is telling us what has to happen and why it has to happen. So there's a 5-to-1 ratio that says you need to say 5 good things before you say the 1 bad.
Can I ask you a question? How many people feel like you're making your children soft when these things happen? Right. Thank you. I was a believer in, I was coached hard. I was loved hard. I was parented hard. I am a coach. I coach hard. My children say, Mom, and I coach both of my children as varsity basketball players. Both of my sons as varsity basketball players. And one of them was nationally ranked before coming out of high school. And say, you are hard. It built me, but now I'm more reserved and I don't want to share out because you told me the things that I could and could not do, how I felt. Man, get up, you all right, shut that off. We ain't got time for that. But maybe he wasn't okay. So now as a man, you don't want to share. And now we're looking at our men and saying, dang, why you don't want to share? You don't want to open up because as a little boy, I told you, shake it off. You all right, get up. So let's think about those things. So we're not making our children soft. In the long run, we're making them stronger because they are able to better communicate.
All right, so I'm gonna just go here because I know they're gonna come over this thing and we ain't gonna be
Right,
hard.
gotcha.
So the reframe research isn't the evidence of what parents do wrong, it's the evidence of the immense power they have. How many of you believe the power of parenting is necessary? It's necessary. They gotta be present. They need to be present. But most of us be like, parents, this is funny, a guy was out here was like, I don't deal with no parents. How do we not? how do we not? So it's like, but how do we want them to show up? So this is a question that I think about here. I want a couple of people to share out. Think of the last time a parent interaction made your job easier, harder, made your athlete feel bigger or smaller, and your sideline more manageable or less safe. Think about it. And then give me a couple of volunteers, because I'd like to say this is interactive. I don't want to just talk at you. All right, what we got? Mm.
Everything is involved, I have no involved.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So I'm like trying to pull them in.
You're
Okay.
supposed to be here. You can get some tools for that. Thank you for
So
sharing.
that's why I think it's hard.
Okay.
Okay.
Michigan.
Sideline management, parents for lacrosse, there's a lot of idleness when it comes to parents and kids. So they like to chirp the reps, even if they're a volunteer rep.
Awesome.
And, they don't understand that is making it harder for our kids to be safe and calm because the rep doesn't want to deal with that. And it makes it hard for reps.
Great.
Okay.
What
So
you
we
got?
got.
I'd say leaders, that said good, but I think it is parents straight off the really bad.
Good.
Again, straight off the board. So I don't have need them. But when it comes to the point of you know, we need to
Awesome.
stand.
Okay.
So you've built so that tells me that you built a culture, and your culture is more of a positive environment. And the reason why we ask both sides, because it's easy for us to talk about negativity, the negative piece, right? But there's a lot of positive pieces if we actually look at it. There's a lot of positive pieces. All right, Mentimeter, everybody get their phones out, please. We're gonna take a quick poll. What is your parent culture producing right now? It's beginning, not even season hasn't even started yet. When do you guys start? Down here.
When do you all start?
Y'all already August 13th, right? Okay, officially.
Okay, so it's all right. Our same
Okay,
time.
perfect. So we have a little bit of. Oh, not for us. We're in the DC area. We're in Maryland, Prince George's County.
July 29th. Ooh, Lordy.
You guys are a full year. Yeah, we don't start until August 12th. Right.
I get it. I mean, because we don't get our kids.
So
to the
we
fall,
have
to the
1, 2,
13th.
3, 4 questions, and we are asking you to answer those 4 questions. And then we want to see the quick poll about the 4 questions. The 4 questions are actually on the poll. Wait, go back. You only got 1 question? Did you click it? Oh, okay.
I'm getting ready to drop this down real quick.
So while we're doing that, my program has written assigned parent. How many people have already had their parent meeting? Uh-oh. 1. Come aside. So. Okay. You had your parent meeting. How many people in their parent meeting, and this is one of the questions, how many people in their parent meeting had your parents sign that one, I was here, and then they signed a contract in your parent meeting? Okay. Okay. They decide, but it has it happened yet because you're on preseason? Okay. So for the majority, it's no. Right. So the thought process is, then when? Not to really answer the question, but this is the perfect time to do it.
Oh, messed up.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We messed up. It's okay. When a
Is it
parent
going?
crosses a behavior situation, have you had the clear conversation about the expectations that you have as a coach and a coaching
Did
staff?
it change to the next one?
No. Your coaching staff, and I found being an athletic director, being a head coach, and then being an assistant coach, that sometimes the assistant coaches go against the grain of the culture that you're trying to build. So that assistant
Wow.
coach that this is my homeboy's kid, I still don't have a conversation. Does anybody have a 24-hour rule of conversing with me after a game? Okay. But did your assistant coach also have a 24-hour rule? They should. That's your culture. If the head coach is saying 24 hours, your assistant coach is an extension of you. should say 24 hours. And if they don't agree with that, then the coaches need to have a conversation. Or how are we going to, because when my assistant coach is over here talking to my parents, I'm looking at you sideways.
All
I
right.
am. Because you're an extension of me. We roll together, right? So I can't be the one to say 24 hours, but then you can just pull my assistant coach like what was just said in the locker room.
Yeah.
Unacceptable. So you need to have that hard conversation with your assistants and see, are they a part of your culture for real, right? What are their expectations? And then have that conversation like, I thought, you know what I mean? So just having that thought process.
All right. So
Go ahead.
I'm gonna so one of the other questions I want to definitely ask is like, do you already have when a behavior conflict happens, do you already have a script that you kind of practice? Like when that parent comes up, do you kind of know what's in your toolkit that you kind of rehearse it, or it's like whether they showing up, they walking to you, you don't know, they might be coming, but that's that one. And you already set your posture, you already set your tone, and they might just be saying, "Good morning, some cupcakes today," or do you have a script that you kind of go through already? Okay.
Two I got, drive me.
Nothing that I was with some Jordan that he would easy. Now when I started coaching 20 years ago, he was this.
And isn't it amazing how you grow right as you coach? Yes, absolutely.
What are they versus what are you trying to
And we appreciate that. So my question is, when you had your coaches meeting, and if you don't have this 24-hour, was that specified on how you would like for your parents to, right? Because I'm a parent as well. Like I said, I coach my kids, and my husband could not approach the coach before the 24-hour, but he approached this coach in the house. It was a little different, right? But the thought process is, do we have the conversation with the parents, and in which way you want them to move is the most important. If you have 24-hour, good or bad, or do you have, whenever you want to have a conversation, it's whichever way you feel comfortable, but make sure the parents know the expectation that you have for them.
All right. What parent behavior actually does? These are, we see Bonfelder, Badura, Gottman, PJ, and now you see Amaker, and also you got Castle.
That's me.
On the SEL. This is talking about that you talk about the cortisol spike. What is happening inside? What is cortisol? It's a stress hormone. It's a stress hormone. So with our parents now, it's research based. So anything that we talk about is not just based on our own opinion, our experiences. So it's based on research. So in chapter 4 of my book, I really go deep dive into what it looks like. Go ahead and hit it. Oh.
Sorry. I'm sorry. My fault. I don't know nothing about computers. I'm not a computer person. All right, so let's look at this. What do you see when you see this picture? Just look at the picture. What is something like, do you see? What image do you see? Teaming? Team meeting. Okay, I see a bullseye, right? And the bullseye is the student athlete. The student athlete, when you do the 5-to-1, and because you're doing it with the student, and eventually you'll do it with the parents as well. And then it's the outreach. Then you have the car ride home. How important was the car ride home conversation? Did you allow the child to get their mind together on what the coach just said, what their peers just said, what social media is probably talking about, and now in the car and all the things that you're going to share with them? Did you allow them to have an opportunity to just breathe, listen to their music, chill, them to have the opportunity for them now to start having a conversation about the game, good or bad, right? And then once this happens, then you have the administrators, the coaches, the athletic directors, community members coming. And then if all of those things happen, the bullseye is going to be hit, because now you have so many people supporting this student, these group of students, this team of students. And if they're supporting them, then they're supporting you. And if you are supported, then you feel better about bringing more and more people in and trying to have an outreach for the parents to have engaged. So this is the macro, the exo, the meso, and the micro. On the micro, of course, is the smallest part, and it's always the hardest part to hit.
And this is where the athlete is experiencing all of these influences on who they are, how they operate in their athletic identity.
And depending on the age, and my book talks about the development of the age, the mental development, the physical development, because at 7 years old, I'm the mom who says, run the floor. And my 7-year-old like, look, what the heck do you think I'm doing? Run the floor, right? I'm not understanding that he or she may not understand what that even means. So we have to understand the brain development at the same exact time as we understand the 17-year-old understands that. And now we can increase the conversation a little bit different.
So when looking at the neurological experiences, so when our athletes like, what's wrong? You know, you can look at your athlete and see like, they ain't here today. Physically here, but they're not processing.
You got a question about that?
Go ahead.
It's not bad.
Right.
And they're good at it, but you could be talking about something and their mind is going somewhere else.
Because
But just like us.
see that image right there? What is that? What is that? What does that look like? What does that represent? The weight. The weight. The weight of the world, the weight of each one of those layers is what these athletes are experiencing. And now you want me to run this route, this whole tree, and these things like, how are they processing? Some of them are walking in trying to process to get that off of me so I can check in. But do we do check-ins?
But think about the 14, 15-year-old, what's happening with their bodies? They're changing. Their breasts are getting bigger or shoulders are getting broader. Their hips are expanding for the girls. They're on their cycles. All of these things are happening and we don't care about that. Social media, we don't care about that. We don't care about, you got to get your academics, you got to lift the weight, you got to go to bed on time, you got to eat right, you got to, we forget about that. The check-in is important.
So sideline management, not a courtesy of the parent. That's why it's necessary for us to kind of help the parent understand, don't add nothing else.
Don't try not to add.
Don't, because we have a discussion on how do you tell a parent what to say in their house? Or in that car. But then you know, based on what they say, what they do, they're going to come back to your gym, onto the field, not respecting you the same way. You know what the conversation was about you in that car.
So the great thing about what we do, especially for our club, is not only do social emotional learning is poured into the athlete, but she did a great job of allowing the social emotional learning to be poured into the parents as well. And so many parents came back and like, oh my God, the thing you said, I didn't think it was going to work, but I have a better relationship now with my athlete. So think about that outside entity of a person who can really pour in. That's not even a coach, right? That but can still have their hands on not only your athlete, but the parents of the athlete, so they can understand the mental development of the student.
But this is your mental development stage. There you go. And this is PJ. Yes, question.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're on a trip. You get better. Mm. It is. It conflicts, but you know, this is trying to affect the gravitational pull, right? We want the parents to understand that we are an extension of the parent as well. We are parenting their athlete at the same time. How are we getting that done, right? Letting the parent know that I'm going to support you, but we're asking for this to be a relationship. and how for them to trust the fact that what we're saying, we're gonna do. I think that's probably the clearest thing that I can say. But absolutely, it's tricky. It's tricky. Tricky situation. All right, go ahead.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Anybody have heard of the mirror? Yes.
I believe, from observation, big sports are big minds.
Mm-hmm.
Parents, based on those sports, have the mindset to feel or think.
Right.
Sometimes regression in certain types of behaviors. Again, I'm the golf coach. And the golf arena is a different mindset in it, all of the sports that are represented.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes. And so we have to allow the parent to understand, and we do everything research based, right? So we have to allow the parent to understand. That's when you pull in that research from the other jurisdictions. I mean, from the other sports. Okay. You can take that.
Okay.
I know.
You know-
So the mirror effect. If you think about it, what are you exhibiting the behaviors that you're asking your parents to exhibit, and you're asking your student athlete to exhibit? I am an aggressive mother because I was an aggressive child, taught by aggressive parents, right? And it's hard, but now my son's 2023, so now so different. Oh my gosh, like I can talk to you. So now they're mirroring what they see, and this is what our athletes do.
All right. So from problems to partnerships is what we want to really get to. We got to shift, but okay, my problem and culture, parents are not the problem. All right. So how do we do it? A unified framework going through 3 different seasons, before, during, and after the season. All right. Done with Salty, self-affirming love, giving them the love that they need, the support that they need, and help in order to help and understand that they build from within. Pre-seasons, when it happens. Normally, this is what we get at preseason. Get all these rules, policies, practices, all of this is what we get right now, which gives us what we call the illusion effect. Because right now, this is all about not having liability. That's liability, but it's not about the building the relationship, because it is the coach that builds the relationship. ADs, administrators, everybody can say what they want, but until that relationship is built with that coach, nothing happens.
And I know we're rushing, but how many of us coaches have our athletic directors meeting, and in that athletic directors meeting, the administrator is there?
That happens? Are they there?
Is our administrators always at your when your athletic director has the coaches meeting? Is the administrator there present? Some of them are there. Depend. You got football track. Lacrosse.
Lacrosse.
So we got some no's and some yeses. If we don't even know the tier system, how do I even know who to go to?
That chain of command.
That chain of command. Admin may not even know what golf rules are. When you even had your golf parent meeting. You know what I mean? So you have to be invested. The whole entire situation has to be invested.
And so within during the season is where parents not parent coaches, you designate the personnel on your staff. Who is the person on your staff that kind of help manage while you can still locked in? Who can you trust on your staff?
Manage the bench,
To manage the
board,
bench, to manage the parent that might want to come over real fast, to manage sometimes even any external distraction that can come onto your field and interfere with your operations.
the parent
Who is
who's
that?
leaning over the fence,
Or
the
standing
parent-
on the back
or
of the
kid
chair.
who's talking to their parent, right? We need a coach that is strong enough to exhibit the behavior and say, not right now, parent. Okay.
And then you got then in the post. And this is phase 3, the postseason. Have we looked at our results from last year when you did what's that, June? Did we look at that material and say, what we going to tweak for the 29th? If you haven't looked at it, that was just an exercise. So you could check that box off. We did the postseason survey. But if that postseason survey don't dictate behavior change, it's for naught. And so that's one of the things we want to ensure, because when you want to be able to start embedding a culture, it is the relational standing in the gap for the institution because that's the first person in involved with our children and with our first touch points of our families. And again, how does this line up with goodwill, respect, accountability, civility? How you say it, respecting people based on who they are and not what they did. Giving them grace to know that they may not intended that, not thinking that their every intent is going to be bad. Accountability, toe the line, ideally staying in line with what you said at the beginning of the season. Don't shift because that's so-and-so's mama.
But they aggressive.
I
don't want no problem.
or that's the president's
Stand
child.
firm. 10
If they're
toes
out of
back.
order, they out of pocket.
Period.
Rules apply to everybody, right? Civility, kindness. Kill them with kindness.
Support.
What? Civility?
Support.
Support. Oh yeah, support. And then excellence. Eventually we'll get there. All right. All right. Key thing on this one: every parent is not the same. We know how to respond to the parent that's acting out negatively, but what do we do with that parent that is over helpful?
Over helpful.
Oh, so on what you got picked up, dang. If you could turn this in, what I'd like for you to do, your stat line sheet. Make sure you get one of these stat lines. This is where a stat line is to be able to check your posts. Everything works off of, people like to know their results, right? People like numbers. Know your stats. This is right here was one that we could give this also to your parent. How are you responding with grace? How do you rank yourself? And get your numbers. And then ideally, if you want to go, a full toolkit that we got for you, we probably put this slide on there too, slide deck. You go to Vigilant AD, this right here. The toolkit that we have for you will be found on that site. Will be found on that site. One other thing is here at PayHip. At PayHip, there you can click on that one. There is a culture survey. Please complete this culture survey. So you can, and there's a survey that will say how you are.
Thank you.
There's one for parent to complete, so how they know how they're responding. For you as a coach to be able to assess what is happening in your athletic environment, and it's free. You don't have to worry about somebody. You say PayHip, I ain't paying for that. No, but it is culture assessment to be able to know where you stand, so you know how you want to proceed.
No, lastly, first of all, we thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming, and we hope when you walked away with some great things. We both have our books here for purchase. If you would like to purchase a book today, mine is $24.99. Today will be $20. And if you want us to come down and have a conversation with your parents, let us
Please check the box on
know.
the thing. Hopefully, anything we said was helpful to you. We had to go fast. I knew the session was gonna be short. You can't come late and then say get out early. Yeah.
And y'all didn't come late. You can't let them out late. You get here late. Thank you so
So
much
thank you.
for
We
joining us
definitely,
today.
we're
Good
from Maryland,
luck
but
for
we
your-
travel
your
obviously.
season. Good
So
luck
make
in
sure
your
we get your
season.
slip.
Thank you so
Good.
much.
Thank you. I can take that.
Absolutely.
Nice to meet you as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Well, good to see you. Come on back to my session, buddy.
I've seen you, sir.
Yeah.
I like the energy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
We
Thank
have
you.
a whole thing
Thank you.
on the mental health.
Thank you. Thank you. I
Yeah.
want to give you
So,
one of my
I have my certification in
Things,
psychological first aid.
thank you. Thank you.
She's a
Thank you.
first
See you
aid,
later.
First mental health person as well. And so building that in to where we can
Here's
actually.
my information is on this card right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right there.
Oh, okay. I was athletic director at Friendly. She was at Oxon Hill. And my son played for
You
Winport.
cannot.
Yep, yep.
Determine who's
Thank you
different.
so much. So all my
Yeah,
information
yeah.
on
Yeah.
the bookmark. She was a athletic director, former athletic director at Oxon Hill, and I was at Friendly High School.
Told you, pouring their heart out. And then it's like,
Oh,
okay,
did
so
you?
now how do you manage?
Okay.
what they're
My
feeling?
children, look, my children went to the
And
base.
you
at
at the end of the day
DC.
trying to get to the X's
Well,
and O's of it all.
Okay.
But you gotta
good.
facts. So what you want to do? You can come in and we can work with them.
Thank you so much.
You
All right,
know,
I appreciate it. All right.
because it's a lot for a coach position. Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I heard you're from Oxon Hill, so that's
Oh, from Oxford, what you know about Oxford here?
yeah,
Okay, okay.
I know a little.
A little something. Yes, yes, yes. You got here. Give me-